Alright, just a little back. Something like that. Okay, I think we're set. Ready to get some more horses. I shall be back. Okay, I'm gonna grab the last two horses in a minute. All right, let's take a short minute here to say hello to everybody. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Let's zoom in a bit. I expect relative quiet. Okay, let's see who's here. Samantha's here. Hello, Samantha. And Tina. Hello, Tina. Hopefully you saw my message I wrote to one of your comments, but I want to say thank you very much. I got your Christmas card 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Super late, but I actually had another one come through 2 weeks after Christmas from somebody in Texas. Rick, is Rick here? No, probably not yet. Anyways, thank you, Tina. I wrote a whole message for you. Marilyn's here. Hello, Marilyn, Tanya, and Elvis. Hello. Stern. No idea if that's pronounced correct. Hello from Germany. It's 9 o'clock. Well, it's noon here. Welcome. Jodell Fields. Hello. Good day to you. Susie's here. Love your beautiful animals, but the little dragon is just an amazing girl. Which dragon? I've got 2 of them, I think. Good day. Hello, Missy. Tugbug says, what state are the horses in? We're not. We're in Canada. Is it nice weather? It's fantastic weather today. 28 degrees in southern Ohio. I think it's about 8 right now. It's still chilly, but beautiful. Gma's here. Hello. And Cora's here from the UK. 8:15 in the evening. Not seeing much sunshine there. We've got a week of it. Well, here comes Gracie, as always. Everybody's going to be a bit backlit. So, oh, the gray one. Yes, yes, she's quite dragony. Okay, well, speaking of the gray one, just before I put out these 3, there are 2 that are already out. I'll start off with, oh, Gracie's doing some yelling. She's going to get mad at Luke in a second. Ronnie's moving in for a nothing. So bite him. Bite him, Ronnie. Oh. Gracie says, move it, you 2. Arabian coming through. Whatever. Well, that's it. Now the boys are going to play. So, yeah, anyways, just before I put everybody here out, I had given those 2 wildies just a little bit of an extra snack. Just by pure coincidence more than anything. And I thought, well, you know, I should do a live stream. So we're just going to give them a couple of minutes to finish up that little snack. And we can watch the others. Now, it's a pretty, I mean, relatively warm day for winter. I think it's in the sun. It's probably a good. Get him, Roni! Kick him! Roni very, very rarely kicks. It's very unusual to see him kick. He usually just threatens it an awful lot. Look at Gracie. Anybody who's new here, Gracie is this one here, and this is Luke. A little bit of cheat chat there. Look at how active her tail is. There are not even any flies here. Whoa! He almost got punched in the chin. Sue's here. Hello, Sue. She always gets so agitated. If you guys hear any weird construction or clanking, it's my neighbor. They're taking advantage of a gorgeous day like this to do a little bit of work on their yard. They happen to own an excavator. Maybe they'll leave the keys in it one day. I could just wander over there and borrow it. They also have a fire going, so if you see at the back, maybe it looks a little bit sort of bluish, like this blue haze. It's smoke. Smoky fire. Kind of smells nice, you know. So I expect the horses to be kind of quiet today. As I was saying, it's a little bit warm for a winter day, even though when they breathe out, you can see there the condensation. If you look at Roni in the back, Roni's the one way at the back. Actually, all of them. When they breathe out, you can see the condensation of their breath. It's a bit of a cold breeze coming through. So, like statues now. Everybody watch my horse statues. Sue says, beautiful, healthy looking horse. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Okay, let's get our two wildies out here. And that will make the whole herd. And we'll chit chat a bit. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. We'll just kind of chill out, watch some horses. Alright, that is the whole crew. Little Miss is having a roll. I just chucked her in. shake. Oh, maybe not. She's out. Ah, the energy of a youngster. Looking good. Let's see if they steam the place up a bit. Okay, who else have we got here? Marilyn says, I hope you can keep Mr. Wild as long as you can. Yeah, me too. Me too. Veronica's here. Hello. Bomb Blue. The horses are standing so still. I have to check to see if the video was still going. I know, sometimes they can be absolute statues. Oh. Good luck, Luke. You're gonna need it. She's got a lot to say. That's for sure. We should get a drink of water. Yep, drink of water. Always good to have water in your socializing areas. Ooh, how well will this go? Mr. Wild's on his way up. Ronnie's blocked him or something. Says, let's have an argument. See how Luke moved in like that? That was interesting. He didn't even need to. They're gonna have a drink together. How adorable. Suzanne's here. Hello. I assume you are keeping height measurements on Mr. Wild. Has he gotten taller since he arrived? How much? Nope. I haven't. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track very well. Did I do an original measurement on him? I did a measurement a while back on the height of all my horses. There's a whole video on it. Hopefully he's in there. In such a case, I'll be able to measure him again. Other than that, nope. When do horses stop growing? Somewhere around 7, 8. Does Little Miss belong to you? Nope. She doesn't. She is owned by somebody and is here for acclimation to all kinds of human stuff and some training and that kind of thing. How big is Little Miss? I don't know. I haven't checked. But if I were to guess, it'd be maybe 14, 13.3. She's pretty short. But Mr. Wild's grown like crazy. It's true. I should try to stick him again. Get a measurement on him and see how tall he is now. He's definitely taller. I don't know if anybody can search up that video for, I think I'd call it how to make a horse measuring height stick or something like that. Well, Roni got trouble out back. She says, leave me alone. Quarter horses suck. But in that video, I did a height on all of my horses. Oh, here she comes. Holy cow. What a hoppy skippy horse she is. Gracie says, you're my kind of gal. Let's be friends. Uh-oh. Ronnie's gonna get kicked if he's not careful. He better stay away. So he goes to the front end and pushes. Oh, even Yoko is pushing her. Says, knock it off, youngsters. Yoko is the old. Oh no, wait. Lena's the oldest here. Or wait. Gosh, I can't remember how old Yoko is, but it's between her and Lena. The boys play. Oh well. Let's see. Nick is here. Hello from Australia. Doing great here. Hopefully everything's going well there. I did test my DIY stick on him. Oh, excellent. Okay, so there'll be a record of what he was originally. Cindy's here. Hello. And Susie. Little Miss is feeling quite good today. She is full of juice. Along with the boys, obviously, those youngsters. Luke's always been active. He hasn't changed a bit since he was young. He still just plays and plays and plays. Just coming in from watching the video of Lena's story. Yes, Lena, she is how to build a cheap horse. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Was it cheap or cost effective or yeah, maybe cheap. Lena's story. It was a good one. I liked putting that one together. Yeah. Lena has a good little story for sure. It's a nice video to watch. It was nice to find some baby pictures of her, to be honest. Simple and cheap. That's right. It is a very simple measuring stick. Just made out of PVC. Didn't take long to make. Works well. I can just remember where I put it. I think it's in the tack room. Whoop. Look at that. What a faker. Luke says, you're not going to kick me. And it's true. Roni almost never kicks. These two will, though, or at least Mr. Wild will. He's kicked Luke quite a few times. No shortage of flexibility on that boy either. He can kick higher than Luke's butt. Like, if he were to try to kick a ride... Oh, kicked him in the shoulder. See how Luke doesn't kick him back, though? Like, he could have launched a double barrel at him. You know what I mean? Like, he could have made a solid landing, but he doesn't. He's double the age. He's Mr. Wild's half Luke's age, right? So he could sort things out pretty quick, I'm sure of it, but he just gives the threat of it, and that's that. Never kicks him. Takes his blows, but never gives them back. I find that interesting. Why did he throw his head out of the barrel? What a goof. Anyhow, so we've got a pretty good day going today. Busy. Lots of bits and pieces to catch up on now that the weather is appearing to sort of dry out a bit. So I'm pretty happy with that. A little bit of work with the horses, obviously, and the usual socializing and exercise time. I'm going to do a little Q&A if anybody's interested. I've got oh, it was how to measure a horse with a simple measuring stick 10 months ago. There you go. Anybody wants to look that up. Whoa, there you'll find out Mr. Wild's height then, and then I guess we should maybe can't do I could try to do it in the arena. I could go capture him and see if he'll put up with my measuring stick. Okay, if anybody goes and finds out what his height was, I'll measure him. So, little Q&A, because I've got a lot of questions in the comments lately. Oh, look at these boys. Get him, Luke. Teach him a lesson. Uh-oh, he's trying to hassle little miss. Carla's here. Hello, Carla. How long have we been online? Looks like 25 minutes. Not long. Ooh. Move over this way a bit. Okay, Q&A. I had a question from Eva, and she's adopted an 18-year-old Percheron mare. Very tall, massive neck. Yeah, Percherons are huge. Getting a halter over her head and neck is a little more difficult than maybe a quarter horse. Any suggestions to gently get halter over head? Yes, actually I do have suggestions for that. My first suggestion, now it depends on the halter, so the problem I'm going to expect is that the halter being used is either one of those leather or nylon ones where you have to put it like a sock over a foot. You know, you got to bring it up over the nose and over the head, compared to my rope halter. So my first suggestion, if the suggestion isn't there, or if the right halter isn't there, is to get a rope halter. If you can't get a rope halter, then I suggest getting just a rope and get a rope over the neck. So you would put the neck up and over the neck, and then sort of gather both sides of the rope under the neck and work on a keyword for having the horse put their head down. And personally, I find the easiest word to use is down. 1,000 bucks. Come on, buddy. 2,000. Is that it? He's just staying down. It's like I'm pooped from all that rolling around. A little scratch. Whoa, almost. It's not gonna do it. That's it. You maxed out. So you put a the airplane is loud, eh? Put another muffler on the thing. Ooh, Lena's yelling. She says, "Don't you come near me, stinky." Okay. So you put a neck around their, or put a rope around their neck, gather it down to the bottom and work on down. And then when you're using your word down, you would put a little pressure downwards and hold. And if they release, if they come down at all, then you would stop pulling downwards. Don't pull down with a lot. You can't pull a horse's head down at all. You could put all your weight on it. You'd never pull it down. What you want to do is you want to just communicate. So you just say down, down, down while pulling. And then when you've got that, which might take a few minutes or whatever, you would work on not putting any pressure on the rope and just saying down. You know, down, 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 like 5-6 times. And if they don't put their head down, then you start pulling on the rope while saying, gosh, look at those punches, eh? Luke doesn't move an inch. He barely shakes his tail when that happens. Oh, now he's moving. He says, watch out, the ninja is at work. Then you use the rope. So you pull the rope downwards. And the reason it's better to have a rope halter for this than just a rope is because then you can quickly switch to putting the halter on. And the other thing about those leather and nylon ones is when you go to put it over a horse's head, they tend to get pretty worried when you're sort of sliding something up and over their head. And I have yet to see a horse that doesn't put their head upwards when you do that, because you're going to slide up and over their ears and over their eyes and all that kind of stuff, and they get worried and they put their head upwards. And then you continue to put the halter on and you settle for that. But with a rope halter, you can have I mean, you could do it with a normal, like, nylon leather halter as well, but the rope halter allows you a little bit more control, probably more. It's just better. That's the way to put it. Anyways, so when they get their head down, if you have a rope halter, then you can slide it on the nose, and because you've already got sort of the loose end. Look at Luke. What an adorable creature. You can just tie it up over their neck kind of idea, because it's already over their neck. So you would have the rope halter tied onto their neck, and then you would untie it when they bring their head down, put the nose part on their nose. You know what? Why don't I don't have my microphones. I've done examples. Anyways, I've done videos of this, so. But that's how I would do it. If I had to work with a big horse, I would just be working on bringing their head down through a vocal command, backed up by a physical command, which is the rope over their head. When you get kind of, if you want to do it without a rope or a halter at all, you can. You can walk up to them, put your hand over top, or their hand and arm over top of their neck, and see if they put their head up. So like giving them a half a hug, or just sort of, it's like putting your arm over top of somebody's shoulders. And Lena's moving in. She says, "Don't you come over here." Look at that. Good little listening. She's a good little horsey. And then with your hand over top of their neck, if they put their head upwards, then just kind of slide your hand up along their mane and towards their head a little bit, and then just leave it there. You can put a little pressure downwards if you're lucky, and just say down, down. So you can work on it without a rope or a halter at all as well. So, and then keep on working on it from there. Because having a horse put their head down is really important. If they have their head up, they're worried. They're scared. They're worried. They need to keep their head up in case they need to escape, in case they need to do whatever. Oh, everybody's come to the top now. Yay. And so we want them to be really chill and relaxed. And the best indication of a chill and relaxed horse is a low head. So that's my question answered to Eva in the comments. She'll probably never see this, so I'll probably write it out anyways, but yeah. Missy says, "I didn't have Mr. Wild at the time." Oh man. Well, the good thing is I've got a heck of a lot of video, and so I can do a comparison, do a height check by video, and we'll be close. So yeah, I guess I never took his height in the beginning. What do you want? Shuffle on. She's getting the hang of English pretty good. Okay, any questions in the comments there? Roger's here. Hello, Roger. And Nokachi Shun Shun is here. Just found your channel. Love your relationship with your horses. Thanks. Are you Japanese by chance? Carla says, "I know I've said this 100 times, but your place is so beautiful and peaceful. I just love to come and walk around there. Love on the babies, give scratches, and help out for a day." Well, when you can make it up here, you're welcome to come up here. Sue's here. Hello, everybody, she says. Hello, Sue. Welcome to mid-afternoon horsey play and relaxing social. Uh-oh. Nina's trying to move. Yoko says, "No." Says, "I protect my little gray friend." Which is interesting. Makes you wonder why. Cora says, "Have you ever had a horse that you couldn't let out to socialize with the others?" Yes, a few. And it would be, what the it would be a horse that sorry for any rattling that the tripod does. I tried to oil it today, but it just sucks. So I gotta go spend some cash to get a new one. I think something that moves nicely. Anyways, my point is, yes, there are some horses that just struggle. Gracie was definitely, I mean, if she was a tougher horse, I'd really struggle to have her out with everybody, because she still just can't, she sort of has a bit of a trouble. And just poor socialization skills. But overall, she's fine. But I've had tougher horses in here where they sort things out too much. just too rough. And there was one horse that was here that would go after Gracie, and he was a beautiful, he was an amazing, really cool horse, but I could not have him in here with Gracie. He would target her like nobody's business. And so there was him, and then there were these three boys that were here for a month or two, and they were so pent up, anxious horses that I didn't really want to put them out with anybody, because it just felt like they had too much of that sort of energy of I don't know if bossiness is the right word. It's hard to describe exactly what it would be, but enough so that I just thought, nah, you guys aren't going to be here for very long. So there's also the timeline thing. If I know a horse is going to be here for a while, I think Mr. Wild just got knocked in the shoulder. Get him, little miss. Kick him. He deserved it. Sucker, take that. If I know a horse is going to be here for a while, I'll continue to try to integrate them into the herd. And it may not be everybody at once. It may be... What's happening here? Somebody's going to get kicked. This is a recipe for some disasters. A lot of questions happening. Might not. Might be just totally calm, because Gracie's here, and she's quite a relaxed horse. Nope. Up they go. And the assessment of whether or not horses are going to get along, it's not the easiest process, and I definitely try to give everybody a fair shake. And I'll definitely get in there sometimes. There are times when I need to get in and request that they settle down and stop being so bossy. There was another horse a long time ago, way at the beginning. He was a standard bred, and he was pretty good for a little bit, but then he would target Luke, and a couple times he targeted Luke real bad. He caught him on the throat one time and held him, gave him a lump for about 2 months. It's terrible. I mean, Luke's fine, obviously. Here he is to this day, doing just great. Oh, here they go. It's a race. And then another time, he tried to double barrel him. Luke got out of the way. Luke was against the fence, and he came up to him, flicked his butt over. Luke made a charge forward, got out of the way, but a double barrel kick went out, and he literally he hit the fence, like the board, the top board here, one of the boards, and he launched it 20 feet, broke it in half, actually in 3 pieces, and launched it across the pond. It was over when there was no bridge there and everything. It was a long time ago, and I was there when it happened, so just quickly blocked it off, and that was that. But boy, he really struggled with Luke for whatever. I mean, I don't think Luke even did anything with him. He didn't try to do what you guys see nowadays, give a bunch of trouble and play. It's just a crotchety old standard bred that, again, had very poor socializing skills, unfortunately, and just wanted to be left alone, and yet sort of manage the area at the same time. I don't know what's going off to the left. I'm pretty sure there's a dog. Neighbor's dog, maybe? Okay, I'll monologue for a bit. Oh, here they come. Zoom. I gotta admit, the smell of the fire is kind of nice. Just being out here, super fresh air, really nice, but just a hint of sort of burning wood, like a campfire. It's fantastic. sit around and watch the horses. It's great here. Okay, where were we? So, Cora, hopefully that answers your question. Bunch of little story. I got more story, but I can't remember them all at the moment. Nick says, does playing the game of hide and seek with horses make it a good thing or a bad thing? Depends on the horse. I don't know if I've ever played hide and seek. Mr. Wild is going to get his butt kicked. He keeps trying to do something. Oh, Gracie's yelling. Luke's got to move. Something's going to happen shortly. And hide and seek. It's hard to say exactly how you do that. I mean, are you hiding or are they? They're seeking, I guess, because you couldn't teach a horse to hide, I suppose. Would they seek you out? Maybe, if they cared enough. Here they come. It's the race. Oh, Luke cut him off. Luke's staying ahead of him. He's got a good angle. His drive is fantastic. Luke is really accurate. If you want to watch how to manage horses, like the drive line, speed, accuracy of pushing versus pulling. There goes our annoyingly loud airplane again. Zoom in a bit here. It's going to be a bit blurry because they're down at the other end of the arena and it's dark back there. So anyways, I don't know about the, yeah, so watch Luke for that, but I don't know about the hide and seek thing. I don't think I've ever done. Hello, Dan. Dan's here. Marilyn says, what task is the most difficult for a horse to be trained? Trust. Trust is a hard one because you break it a lot. When you're training, you end up breaking the trust throughout the training process. So you have to build it every time you break it. And every time you build it after you break it, you actually you have a very good chance of making it stronger if done right. So over time it's easier, but it's a long-term thing. But if you're looking for a particular task, I have no idea. Trail riding? It's a hard one. Goes in line with trust, I suppose. I don't do jumping and barrel racing and competition and stuff like that, so I couldn't give you any of that. I don't tend to do a lot of tricks. My goal is to make horses and people safe, content, happy, comfortable, communicating. So that's why I sort of said trust, because it's hard. You really got to keep working at it, and then you have to know how to break it and build it, break it and build it, which I guess break might be the wrong word, but sort of test it to where they look at you and like, what the, like when you ask them to do something that's kind of dangerous, they got to trust you. But at the beginning, even though they do trust you for other stuff, they won't trust. I lie down with all my horses, right? You guys see it all the time. But try to get them to go through some weird puddle, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. You go first. And then they just run me over anyways. So that is kind of, it's a concept more than an act, if that makes sense. Oh, are they coming up? Zoom out a bit. I don't know if that answers your question, Marilyn. Hopefully. Bridget's here. Hello. The temperature 10 Celsius maybe. God, Gracie's so aerobatic. Australian Polly Hatches. So cute. Pity you have to sleep now. Love your videos. Thanks. Well, it's recorded. You can watch it later if you want. Dan's been trying to catch the live chats. Well, here you are. Use it to the best of your ability. The girls are more rowdy than the boys. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Oh, Yoka's down. So roll. She's an expert roller. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's way out there. Almost up to full screen. Answered Cora's question. That's good. Lisa says, is there a reason there's no hay for the horses to eat in the arena? Yes, there is. Horses are crazy when they have to compete for food. This is a socializing place. The horses here are fed 24/7, so they've been eating up until the point they come in, and they'll eat as soon as they leave. So there's no need to do that. And it makes a mess of the arena. So there you go. What are your horse's favorite treats? KK Crafter asks. Hello, KK Crafter. Hello, Carol from Arizona. Love your videos. Thank you. Let's see. Apples and carrots. Yeah. That's the only thing I feed them, so I don't know if there's any other further treats that they treat being just like a tasty food that isn't hay. So I consider it to be. You're welcome, Marilyn. A little bit quiet now. Somebody's lying down in the back. Looks like Mr. Wild. Hard to see because he's all the way at the back in the shadows. Carol says, I'm the one who asked about a gypsy vanner. To be honest, I don't even know what a gypsy vanner is. So I'm definitely the wrong guy to ask about particular breeds. I mean, I've got a lot of my own. They're all different breeds here. The gypsy vanners are those flowy ones, aren't they? They're kind of like a I don't know, long mane, long tail sort of deal. Would you ever try mince with them? No, I would not. Hello, Susie. Yeah. So yeah, I just don't have a long-haired Lena. I just don't care. I don't care about breeds. I think horses being defined personality-wise and stuff like that with their breeds is a bias that limits the human and in turn limits the horse. So I look at horses as horses. Not that I don't like particular breeds, I'm not silly about it, but I tend not to care. That's all. Lots of feathers, yeah. Out of the list of horses you've had in the past, who do you miss the most? I miss Peggy and Rue. I miss Benny. I miss the Benny that I knew when he was here. And I miss Peggy and Rue too, but for sure they're both great horses. I get to still see Peggy. She's not very far from here, and I still trim her feet. Rue's a little farther away, and he's taken care of by a different person because of his distance. I said I wouldn't go. It's too far. I don't know what Gracie's looking at. She's on high alert. I don't see anything. Oh, nothing over there. Squirrels. I see squirrels. Probably Benny. Benny was actually the first horse that came here for training ever, other than my own. He's a standardbred, just a gorgeous, big, full-bodied standardbred, dark like Luke. Him and Luke used to play for hours. Actually, standardbreds are very playful. Actually, I had another standardbred named Vinny. I still get to see him once in a while, so I don't miss him either. But gosh, Benny was just this full-bodied, rich in color and personality, and he taught me a lot about how to be a lead horse, I guess you could say. How to be a leader without being a boss. How to observe. How to stop things before they start. Like all kinds of stuff. And every time I wander out into the arena, I think I want to be like Benny. So I miss Benny the most. Just a really cool horse. I always told his owner, if you're ever selling or you can't have him anymore, you can bring him here. So, Benny. Good question though, eh? That's a really good question. Ron Potter's here. Good morning. Well, it's actually afternoon for me, but if it's morning for you, good morning. Carla says that says a lot. What says a lot? Carol says they've been a misunderstood breed and they are 3 breeds in one. Really? Which breeds? Ron says, what breed is Lena? Can somebody... Oh, you probably can't. Lena is an Oldenburg crossed with a warm blood draft out of Virginia. And there's a... If you do a search for Lena's story, you can find a whole video all about her. Carol says, I like all your horses. Thanks. Me too. Missy says Benny was cool. He was. He was a really cool horse. KK Crafter says, my horse stole my friend's peppermint from her pocket while she wasn't looking. That's now his favorite treat. Yeah, sugar is really bad for horses. Don't give it to them. Sarah says, hello. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the Chitty Chat live stream of horses goofing off and doing stuff. Veronica says, a Gypsy Vanner are piebald horses, a breed made up by Americans that were owned by people that traveled around Ireland in horse-drawn caravans. Well, that makes sense. Ah, that I missed Benny when he was here. Yeah, if you look way back in the videos, way back, 5 years ago, pretty much by now, I guess, and watch Benny do his thing. A lot of great horse behaviors learned from him. A lot of videos of him doing his thing. Great horse. He was, I'll never forget the day that I was able to go lay down next to him. Of course, I got video because I love it and I want to remember it. I always tell my daughter, you know, the things that we do, we go somewhere special or something like that, or we do something, I might take a quick video, and the reason is because I'll never remember otherwise. Too many memories. Too many, you know, so you take a video and then you can watch it some other time. Better than pictures. You get the feel of the sound. Oh, look at them having a little drink together. Looks like that friend that just says, let's go to the bar. Let's go to the coffee shop maybe. Have a drink. We'll be best friends. Oh. And he tried to rub the top of her head. Hang on a second. Maybe not the bestest friend around. It's pan away. Just kidding. Yeah, anyways, enough about Benny. Let's see. Rose, something Rose, Lippish from Germany. Hello to Germany from Canada. Brenda's here. Good morning. Overall in New Zealand. You love my videos? Thank you. I always appreciate that. New Zealand's a place I'd like to go. It's a lot like Canada, though, from what I understand. At least according to Lord of the Rings. Might check out some videos of Benny. Yeah, you gotta go a long ways back to see Benny. The video list is long. I make too many videos, but it's a lot of fun. About 5 years, 4.5, 5 years. Benny was here for about 8 months, so there's actually quite a few videos of him. Unfortunately, my camera work isn't nearly as good as it is now, so there's some shaky video in there too, which sucks. But that actually might make a good video, like a good video to make is memories from the past, or, you know, of other horses and stuff. That might be a good one. Then people don't have to wander all the way back through the videos. Ron's in Australia. It's 8 a.m. Australia and New Zealand's at the same time, isn't it? Missy says it's neat to go back and look at older videos, see some old friends. Yeah, it is, for sure. I look back on them and I think, I was such an amateur. I hope that in a few years' time I look back on these videos and I think, I was such an amateur. Trying to grow. Look, she's having another roll. She's going to make it over? Mr. Wild goes over and says, stop rolling. Nope, it's going to have a fight with Luke. Let's see. Poof Cat says, does your daughter get to ride much? She does get to, but she doesn't. It reminds me of, I lived in Japan for a little while, and I used to say to myself, oh man, I'm going to go to Tokyo Tower one day. And then because you live there, you just keep thinking one day. And so I've never been to Tokyo Tower, even though I lived there for almost 10 years. Went to Mount Fuji, been to Osaka and Kyoto and Nagoya, a couple of islands near Okinawa, went down that way, did all kinds of other stuff. Learned how to dive, like scuba dive. Yeah, lots of stuff. Never went to Tokyo Tower. Why? Because it was 30 minutes away from me. I'll go tomorrow. So same thing here. She doesn't ride because she's got all these horses here. I'll ride tomorrow. And she's a little bit more of a fair weather rider, so not so much now. But in the summertime, there's quite a few videos of her riding. I end up showing off her skills. Her look at these two groom. Uh-oh. He's chomping a little hard. I don't know if she's going to appreciate that. Let's see what happens. Luke's moving in. Let's see what happens there. I think Yoga's going to tell Luke where to go, but maybe not. Nope. Nope. That's not good. Yoga's such a... Look at how tiny she is compared to the other ones, and yet she still manages those boys. Not Luke so much, though. He tends to get her sort of sorted out, but she will pretend to kick him. See her back legs sort of pick up a little there. That fro just glows in the sunlight. Looks like she has like a some lights on the back of her head. Glows. Carol says the boys aren't as rambunctious. Well, maybe not right now. New Zealand is 2 hours ahead of Australia. Well, now I know. Pebbles is here. Hello, Pebbles. So yeah, she rides a bit. It's a good question. Missy says, you will. Always learning. It's true. I really do. I think that it's really important that we look back, as I did in that one video, and just kind of say, what can I learn from me? Hopefully a lot. Who's the horsey with the dark brown coat? That guy is Luke. Who's chewing on Yoka right now. Yoka's here. She's... So Luke's here. And Mr. Wild's here. Oh, it's an argument now. Just a little bit. I wonder what's going to happen here. You see why horses pick up their feet when we reach for them to trim them? So Luke's my trainer. He says, when I nibble on your tendon, you pick up your foot, please. That's why my horses are so good to be trimmed. Thanks to Luke. Uh-oh, he's going to get kicked. Why did they do this for so long? I don't know why they don't just have a pile of bruises all over the place either. I've been chewed on once by a horse, and I had a bruise for weeks. Huh. Whenever actually I pick up horses' feet, I wonder if they think of things like that, where unless you start sort of training them that they're being groomed, they might think of it sort of a bit of playtime or something. Okay, moving on. Morgan is here, just got on, but how old are all of them? Thanks. And Harl is here from Ontario. Hello. How old are they? Okay. So, Right in front here, Mr. Wild, he is 4. Luke, who's playing with, is 9. I can't remember how old Yoka is. I think 14 or so. Lena is 14 or 15. I can't remember. I have to look at Lena's story now. Behind here is Gracie. I think she's 7. I bet everybody's saying, what do you mean you think? Because to be honest, time goes by with no meaning anymore. Little Miss is 3. And Roni is the same age as Luke, who is 9. Preston's here, who has a Tennessee walking horse. Cool. Lou is here. Hello, Lou. Nuka must be in heat to allow the chewing. Yeah, maybe. She's not really giving an indication she's in heat. She usually should chase the boys around a little bit more. Oh boy. It's beard trimming time for the boys. Susie says it's bedtime. Night night. Have a good sleep. Do they kick each other often? Well, yes. At least these two do. Otherwise, no, not really. It's quite unusual to see a kick land. Usually they're pretty careful about that. Ooh. Okay, kick landed there. Luke got one on his chest. That was actually very competitive between the two of them. And now they've gone their separate ways to have a cool down. That's fine. Puffcat says, from what I've seen, your daughter and the horses, she's learned a lot from you. Has the potential to be a great horse trainer. Whisper like her dad. Oh, shucks, thanks. Well, she says she doesn't want to. So, potential may be there. But at this point, she has no desire to get into horses as training or a job. She's pretty young yet, though. Here comes Yoga. Hello, Fluff. What's up? Is there something you need? What are you doing? She's so cute. Anyways, thanks, Puffcat. Ron says, BC Wildies, British Columbia wild horses, same as our Brumbies? Yes, a lot like your Brumbies, but better. I'm just kidding. Yes, they are native to Canada. We have Alberta Wildies, along with BC Wildies. And they're whatever they are. We don't know their breed really. It's kind of like Mustangs, but yeah, again, different. A lot of our Wildies are a little smaller, a little more solid. Minions here says cheers. Hello. Whoa. Rony says move it, Gracie. That's actually one of the first times I've seen him move Gracie around. Yoka's telling Mr. Wild what to do. Cuts him off. Says, let's sort this out. He says, no way, Jose, I'm out of here. He better make a run for it. He'd be in the corner. Oh, maybe not. See how low his head is? Yeah, that's important. All these things. You're welcome, Morgan. Roddy's Rule 78 says, how would you introduce them to a new puppy? I'd probably just walk around a lot. Puppies get really excited, that's for sure. So I would work on the puppy more than the horse. I would definitely be teaching sit and stay and quiet, things like that. And once that was sorted, and yeah, after that it's introduction, say hello. You can be between the two of them, keeping things distant until it does. Horses and dogs get along great as long as the dog doesn't start trying to bite them or nothing. It's really more the dog than the horse. And some horses have poor experience with dogs, so you have to be cautious of that. Like, for example, Lena doesn't like dogs at all. She would chase Zeus all the time, with intent to squish. Um, not because of anything Zeus has done, but so it's really acclimation and then leadership. So, I don't know if that helps. Harl says, do you have a brushing schedule? Absolutely not. Totally wing it. I brush them when I scratch them, and I brush them before riding. So it's kind of like every day they get some brushings of some sorts, usually by hand. Luke and Ronnie are having fun. Off they go. Everybody's got to sniff poop. Vicky's here. Hello, Vicky. Uh-oh. Veronica and Carol. Let's not get into too much about how other people treat horses and stuff. I get it. It's a tough subject. Donna says, did they ever roll in their paddocks, or they wait till they're in the arena? Yeah, sometimes they roll in their paddocks. Once in a while. But they get out every day, so they don't. Marilyn says, what is collection? When you're watching these horses here run around, for example, Mr. Wild sort of collected for a second and then let go. Collection is, there's true collection and false collection. A lot of what you probably see in the dressage world or Western world, where they want horses really tucked in, their whole head gets jammed up into their neck, or yeah, mostly false collection is brought on by far too much pressure on the reins. A properly collected horse needs nothing. They just collect up nicely. A rider will sit balanced, and it means that they're using their stomach muscles really well to move. So they will collect, they will tuck in themselves a little bit to be very athletic and moving. And it allows them to turn faster, to stop faster, to go faster, all that kind of good stuff. So they collect inwards a bit. It's a beautiful sight to see. You guys see it all the time here when they go running around and stuff. A lot. Sarah says the days do blend together in COVID times. Yeah. Puffcat said she'd like to see Yoka being ridden sometime. Yeah, it probably won't happen here. She's not mine, so. Morgan says, are you keeping any more or just the original few? I don't plan on keeping any more horses because it's too expensive. But I do want to help more. So the idea is to bring them in, train them up, and then have them go to a new family. Missy says, how often do you ride each individual horse? Lena probably gets the most riding. Next up is Roni. Luke I've left alone for quite some time because I don't feel like he needs. Last time I was out on Luke is when I took him for a trail ride. That was last year. And Gracie I've left alone for a little bit to let her grow because she's so small. And Mr. Wild is in the midst of being ridden, but I've left him alone for the winter with all the snow and ice, so I'll be starting that back up very quickly. Carla says, when's the next Wildie coming to your place? Well, it's hard because they have to be available first. There was a message that went out that some are coming in. The problem is space and money. In the end, Mr. Wild is still here, so that makes it difficult. If he wasn't here, I'd be more open to the idea, but I'm going to keep an eye out for any emergency ones that need to be sorted out. We'll see what happens, but at the earliest, maybe the next couple of weeks to the next few months. Yeah, see what happens. Carla says, if you watch the horse's position right before they kick or take off, it's a good example of collection. Yes, that's an excellent time for them to collect. It's sort of like tightening their muscles. Yes, Marilyn, it is a lot like tightening their muscles. Essentially, if you watch, say, football or basketball or something like that, where somebody has to be ready with their legs and their hands at the same time, you'll find that they are in a collective. Hey, look who's here. Zeus. There he is. Hey, buddy. Zeus is here for live stream. Yeah, so you sort of be ready to be athletic, be ready to move, and that's collection. Olives is here. Hello, Olives. Yes, it's a gorgeous day today. Can't help but share the horses. Puffcat says, you plan on selling Mr. Wild? I do. That was always the plan, just due to space and money for the ability to continue on the path of bringing in wildies instead of them going off to slaughter or just not having anything. So, did you adopt Zeus? Sort of. Yeah, Zeus is doing okay. He's old, you know, he's getting older. He's a little creaky. Sleeps a lot. But yeah, so the idea to sell is to be able to open up a spot. It'll also help bring in a little bit of money for the next one and the one after kind of idea, maybe. Gelding him and all that stuff. You know, vets, and then, of course, all the food and labor to keep up a horse's care adds up. And in time, you know, it'd be good to be able to get ahead. So to do that, there has to be some turnaround outside of winning the lottery or something, where I can make a little bit more space and have more, but that's difficult. So that was always the plan. Okay, Yoga just sitting up front here. Ninian says, my father said should ride until they're over 2. Should ride? But in the meantime, probably shouldn't ride. Until they're over 2, shouldn't ride anything before 4. Yeah. 4 to 5 should be very minimal rides. 5 to 6, a little more. 6 and on, you could probably get some good stuff done. But 2 to 4 is it's really destructive to horses' skeletal systems. It's well proven by now. Lots of studies done on the subject, on how horses' bones, ligaments, tendons all get overstress. Lots and lots of. That's why so many of these racing horses or cutting horses or you know, the Western dressage and cutting and reining, all those horses, they're pretty much done by 8 years old, wrecked, crippled. So many of them. Maybe not all, but lots. Just totally crippled. It's like taking your 6-year-old kid and saying, okay, let's run some marathons. That human being will be broken. Their knees, ankles, hips, all just be like a 25-year-old arthritic human being. And that's what happens to the horses. They all get very arthritic, bone loss. Their feet are atrocious. Yeah, it's awful. So anyways, that's how we work here. Not telling anybody to do anything. Those two are having a tough time working on an exact schedule, aren't they? Gracie moves in. tells him where to go. He says, no problem, I'm moving. Why does Gracie tell him where to go anyways? What has she got against him? Sorry, buddy, you smell wrong. Arabian says, no thanks to Wildies. Except for the gray one, she's cute. Horses here. Oh, another kick. Donna's here. Says, I watched your video on swirls and whirls. I've always been curious why their manes grow to one side or the other, and some on both sides. It's just from birth. Yeah, it's just a birth thing. A lot of people will train their horse's mane to go to one side only. They love the look of it. Makes them feel good. And just like we can train our hair to do things, you can train a horse's mane. But naturally at birth on, they'll be pretty balanced. Be a little on the left, a little on the right. Almost all my horses have some on the left and some on the right. So. Hannah's here. Hello, Hannah. And Cindy. Squidfly 6 edits. Hello. White Fluffy Dogs is here. Yoka is adorable. She is by far the cutest horse here. I mean, she's got a real run for her money with Little Miss there. Jeez, I got a little video this morning. Her and Mr. Wild were lying down and went out in the morning early. Just barely had put a coffee together. Had to go say hi to them while they're lying down. A little horsey check for everybody. And gosh, she just looked fantastic in the morning light. Morgan says, how are you doing in this winter? Great. Yeah, we had that snow and ice, but now it's fantastic. White Fluffy Dog says, why is it allowed to race horses so young? Don't know. No rules. There's all kinds of weird things that people do with horses. Pulling carts and racing, thoroughbreds, standardbreds that pull carts. There's, of course, the foxtrotters and Tennessee walking horses. They've got even worse life. There's all kinds of stuff. Plenty of quarter horses that, yeah. What did they call the Western, the futurities or something? Future something. Anyways, 2-3-year-olds that have been worked for hours and hours every day. Carla, I did answer the question about selling Mr. Wild. It was yes, I plan to, because I need to make space and money to afford anybody new to come in. Unless somebody sends me a winning lottery ticket. Now, yeah, Bentley was 3 when they had me start riding, but I'm not that big of a person. Yeah, horses are really strong, don't get me wrong. And riding encompasses a lot of stuff. You could just walk around a lot. Plenty of horses can put up with that. Younger, definitely for lighter riders. I'm not advocating it per se, but I'm not as far down the track of it's horse abuse kind of thing like some others may be. I'm extra cautious, which is why I put Gracie on the back burner, because she's smaller, and I'm 180 or so, depending on my cookie count of the day. And I want to be cautious. Horses fuse, their joints continue fusing until they're about, I think, 9. And some of the really important fusion points aren't even close to being done by 4. So before 4, I think is wrong. I think it's not worth it. Some people it is. They got to make money. They got to get these young horses in when they're cheap, train them up and ride the poop out of them and sell them off. But most of those horses are arthritic and crippled, and something's wrong with them by the time they reach 10. And I've seen a lot of them, and I'm sure many of you have as well. Laura's here. Hello, Laura and Bear. Thank you for the great advice to not ride a horse too young. You're welcome. These guys are a bit busy. I think they'll start lying down soon, actually. They've been out for a little bit. We've been at this for an hour 20. Cindy says, how's Gracie doing? Gracie's doing great. I actually had her in a lesson this morning. Not for riding, but for horsemanship. And she was fantastic. Did the right amount of good with a little bit of not so good to do the teaching. And she was great. She's doing really well. Life's Mirage says there's this guy named Clint. And he's horrible the way he trains. Is it Clint or Clinton? Because we all know about that guy. How old are the horses when their growth plates seal? I do believe it's, for all of them to be completely fused up is quite a ways away, quite a ways along. I think it's 8 or 9 even. They stop growing, but all the fusion that needs to happen is quite a ways along. So, and if you don't let it happen, well, oh boy. I think Luke's doing the yelling there. He's getting pretty frustrated. He's got to sort out these two wildies, lickety split. Both at the same time. Big shake for him. I don't know if he got kicked. I don't think so. He's a draft. There's a lot of walking for us. Yes, draft horses are huge. So even if the bones haven't fused up and everything, there's a lot of muscle, tendons, and ligaments that are quite strong. Especially if much lighter riders. So that's why I kind of say it's a little bit variable. I'm talking more about those with futurity stuff and heavy dressage stuff and things that really stress horses' bodies. Those just not good. Not good at all. But I do believe there's great value in having a horse understand about riding from a very young age. And by very, I mean about 3 and on. Anything under that, don't bother. Gosh, you'll get it done. Don't worry. But beyond that, you can kind of hop on a little and get off. And kind of like what I did with Gracie. If you look back on Gracie's videos. You know, the maximum ride I think I ever did on her, about 15 minutes. You know, let her be. Don't stress the back, don't stress the joints, don't stress the legs. I just don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it to me, not to shorten a horse's life. So, that's just my take. I'm not out there trying to start petitions and stuff. Clinton, yeah. Clinton Anderson. We've already talked about Clinton Anderson in the last live stream. Union says, thanks for all the answers. Love watching. She's got to go. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Yes, last name is Anderson. Clinton Anderson is he should be banned from owning horses at all, being around them. But people idolize them and think the world of them. Some do. Most don't, but some do still. It blows my mind that he's not ashamed of some of the videos he's put out. Just utterly ashamed. As they say, you can't teach when the cup is already full. That guy knows everything, so it's not gonna listen if anybody says that's wrong. Like, what are you talking about? Works perfect. Thanks for sharing your quiet time with Lena. You're welcome. It's one of those things that I want people to know is actually very normal to be able to do. So the times that I spend with them, I mean, you guys probably see about 1/10 of it. And the quiet times that I spend sitting with them when they're lying down, or just hanging out near them, or whatever, when they're so quiet, I think they're vital to the relationship, um, for both sides. And I want people to think it's normal. I want people to think um, it's something that you can do. It's accessible. It's an accessible thing. It's not out of the realms of possibilities to go hang out, sit with a horse, be quiet, and find some real peace, because there's lots of it to be had. There's an overabundance of it to be had. And for them too. You bring a nice, quiet atmosphere, safety to them. They'll really value that about you. They really, really will. And it will take things further for it, I believe. Because you're kind of there for everything. You know, you're there for the trouble, you're there for the training, you're there for the quiet time. There's another guy that I follow that I recommend. His name's Ross Jacobs. He's down in Australia. And he says the best way to create a relationship with a horse is to essentially be no different than them. What are they looking at? You know, you essentially have to be as innocuous to them as their own tail. And I agree. So you're there for everything. You're there for all kinds of stuff. And that will create a more solid relationship than if not. So those videos I put up, you know, to kind of normalize the process, instead of it being an oddity, instead of it being a special thing, which is special in and of itself, it is something that you just do. It's part of horse husbandry. It's part of having an animal. I mean, who doesn't sit with their dog or their cat or something like that? You should be doing the same thing with your horse. There's no reason why you can't. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay. So many comments. Life's Mirage says, you never see that in these other videos. Really? Fair is here. Hello. Horses look happy. Pretty content. My fluffy dog says, Ross Jacobs has a YouTube channel. Not that he keeps up on it anymore, but he does, and there's lots of good information on there from the past. He keeps up more on his Facebook page called Good Horsemanship or something like that. Ross Jacobs Horse. I don't know. Look it up on Facebook. You'll find him, no problem. Lots of good info, lots of good little articles, things that make you think, ideas. I did an interview with him, a chitty chat that we both posted. Luke's going down. He's sleeping now. That's my sleepy boy. I don't think he'll get back up. He's just making his bed. There we go. Okay, well, we'll see them all start to plonk down pretty soon. Lena's yelling at little miss. I do not know what Gracie's looking at. There is nothing going on that side of the neighbor. So yeah, Ross has a Facebook thing to pay attention to. I comment on it. The talk I had with him was fantastic. I put up a little bit of it, I think. But we both, he wanted to do it for his members. So I was like, okay, I won't release it to everybody then, because it was for him. I did it for him, but he let me record it too. So it's up on the members area, but not. Anyways, I'm not trying to put something behind a paywall. It's really just like the subscription thing that people want to get involved with. Helps out around here, but there's some value to being able to help out around here. That's my goal, to be able to provide value. I don't like taking anything for free. Let's see. Puffcat says the bond you form with them is priceless. Yeah, no matter what. Braun says, is there a hierarchy in your herd? So what do you think it is? Somebody said the sun is low in BC. Yes, we're still got a very low sun. And I've got an umbrella here to keep the sun off the lens because it's in the lens. It makes it really hard to see anything. Yeah, the sun's the way it works. The way the Earth turns. Is there hierarchy in herd? Yes. Depending on if they're all out. Let's see. Hard to say. You know, it's hard to say because it depends on the situation. Mr. Wild is scratching on my back fence. I have to go yell at him. Oh, no I don't. He's moved. I don't want him scratching on the fence. Let's see. I mean, Yoka's probably the one that gets the most response out of everybody, but I've seen Luke push her. Gracie, you'd think, is at the bottom because everybody can push her around, but once in a while she pushes others around. Roni rarely gets pushed around by anybody, but he allows himself to kind of get pushed around here and there. He doesn't go for a fight, but if he's keen to make something happen, he just will. Luke obviously is everywhere. He's all over the board. Sometimes he moves, sometimes I don't know. That's kind of what has always made me question hierarchy with horses, because I watch them go up and down the ladder all over the place. The only true way to find out a hierarchy of horses is to put food in with them. And I've thought about doing that. Like a nice tasty big bowl of grain. I don't really want them fighting over food though. Not that any of them are even really hungry either, but I'd still probably do it anyways. Barry's here. Thank you for sharing these videos. The sun is down. It's going down a little bit. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Cora says, I rescued a young colt who had strangles. Spent 24 hours every day with him until he was better. And he was like a puppy. Yeah, they do that. It's neat. Cornelia's here. I have internet now. We live in Ozark in Missouri. Thank you for the awesome information. You're welcome. Will Gracie eventually stop the head shake? Asks Cindy. No, I don't believe so. The sun is already down in PEI, Prince Edward Island, which is on the east coast of Canada. Yeah, I would bet so, eh? Yeah. You guys are 3-4 hours ahead of us here in BC. BC says it was a fun interview. It was. I enjoyed my interview with Ross. We had a great talk. And he's been killing me to, like, not killing me, he's been bugging me to hurry up and set up a live stream. I told him I'd get all the technical difficulties figured out, and then I dropped the ball. Laura spent 2 hours with a little guy, just hanging out. Fantastic time spent. White fluffy dog says, is head shaking typically done by stallions? No, I don't know, maybe head snaking. But I've seen mares snake other horses too, so it's just a horse thing. Depends on what they want. KK is here. Hi everyone. Hello. How many are in the arena? All of them. 7. Carla thinks Lena has the most power. When she says move no matter the situation, they all do. Sort of. I don't think Roni would ever move for her, but who knows. Nishi says, do it please, I'd love that. I'm assuming you're talking about putting the food in the arena. Yeah. We'll see. KK says, I've enjoyed every upload. Thanks. That's wonderful. It's really nice to hear. Thanks for letting me know. Carla says no. What's Carla saying no to? Anybody guess? Quick, write it out before she writes it. M. Wilson says, any tips for working with a nippy halflinger? No food fight. Okay. A nippy halflinger. Not my horse, just work with them at a barn when I volunteer. Nippy halflingers, or nippy anythings, should be told to back off. Any horse that wants to approach you with their mouth should not be allowed in your safety circle. And I did a video on a safety circle. Look it up if you can. Find the moment to do that or some time to do that. And you'll see I talk about maintaining a circle around you of safety. And we don't let horses in to our safety circle if they're not safe. But we go into theirs. So the idea being that when a horse comes up to you and they want to you know, reach for you with their mouth, they have to do that by coming into your safety circle, which can be any diameter. And so by telling them no, by telling them to stay out of your safety circle, you're stopping the nippiness before it can even happen, which means that their brain process doesn't even go to that point, which will stop the nippiness, because before they can even think about being nippy, they have to stop their feet from coming in, so they don't get to the nippy part, because they have to get close enough to you to be nippy. So I would just say, have them back off. If they back off, if you say back off, you know, or you kind of get big, or you swing a rope, or whatever you do to get them to back off, if they do, go to them, pet them, tell them they're a good little horsey, reassure them that you're not there to get really mad at them, but it's very important they respect your space. Do that enough, it won't even occur to them at all to chew on you. So there you go. Look who's come up to say hello. She says, I'm a little bored. Want to play? Want to scratch me? I could use scratches. Let's see. And Wilson says, love your style of horsemanship. Thanks. Missy says, no, the live stream. I don't know. No food fight. Marilyn has a suggestion. Do a group picture of the horses for your store. Oh, that's a lovely idea, if I could just get them together and not look like a bunch of ding-dongs. Are you going to do a live stream fireside anytime soon? I hope so, but the weather's been so poor, Carla. It's just very difficult. Very difficult. But maybe this week. Weather's supposed to kind of dry out. Stop raining for a little bit. Oh, little Mrs. Oh, she punched a barrel. She's trying to get Luke to go away, so she reared up and then half landed on the barrel. What a goof. So yeah, fireside's fun. I like firesides. Sarah says, that happened to me on Horse Hill the other day, but this horse won't even allow her owner to back her up. The horse won't let the human back them up. If you can't get a horse to leave your space, you're doing them a disservice, because they'll chew on somebody, if not you. People need to learn how to back their horse up. Sometimes that means being really loud. Really loud. Either you can go a long ways before you have to whack a horse on the nose or shoulder or something like that. You can go a long, long ways before you have to reach that point. But I always tell people, if it requires getting to that point, then that's what you have to do. And I know that doesn't sound quite as good, so let me try to explain it and bear with me. When we watch the horses play and goof around in the arena, they say to each other they're going to kick or bite a lot. Maybe 5% of the time they do kick and bite when they give that threat. But most of the time the other horse listens. It's the times that the other horse doesn't listen that a launching of a leg or a mouth will happen. Horses communicate really, really, really well that way. The problem with humans is that we don't project very well. So there are a lot of ways to project you're about to kick or bite. I mean, as humans, we don't kick or bite, but we could do the equivalent of a kick or bite. There are a lot of ways to project that we're going to do that and get a result. So you can go an awful long ways to project that. And if a horse was still being what we refer to as aggressive or not interested in anything, then at that point our safety is at risk. And our safety is number one. And you can ask anybody around you, if your safety is number one, do they want you to go home in the same car you came in? And if any of your friends say no, you've got the wrong friend. But I bet that 100% of your friends say, yes, I want you to go home in the same car you arrived in when you went to the barn. So, this means that if a horse isn't going to back up when you raise a hand, when you swing a rope around a little or something like that, or you tell them to back up, or you sort of give a pushing sort of indication with your hands, if they don't do that, you have to get nothing but louder, louder, louder until they rock backwards. They don't even have to move their feet. Just get them to rock backwards. That would be a start. When they do that, pet them. Say, thanks. I appreciate that you rocked backwards. Then build on that. So there's very little chance you're going to need to kick or bite, or the equivalent of kick or bite. But if you have to, don't rule it out, because a horse that isn't listening to any of that other stuff is liable to paw or rear. And you don't want a horse to paw or rear. And you definitely don't want them to turn around and try to kick you. That's just fact. That's just how horses work. We watch them all the time play here. But there's so many things you can do. It doesn't get to that. It's highly unusual to get to that point, in my opinion. Very, very, very unusual. But I don't rule it out. It's not out of my mind. I'm not so far down one track that must love on horses forever that I won't say to them, you need to get out of my space immediately. It's because it's scaring me. It makes me worried. Respect that, please. Nothing wrong with asking for that. Morgan says, my boyfriend and I watch your videos. He's more of a dog person, but thinks it's interesting. Cool. Well, that's good. I should do a calendar. I've had that suggestion before, but it's hard to actually find a place that does calendars that's at any reasonable price nowadays. They're very unusual to do anymore. Carol says, hello there. Hello, Carol. My mare will use her lips to express when she is nervous, like at the vet's. It's not a food thing. She doesn't get treats. I lay my hand flat and she may lick. Hasn't nipped in 7 years. That is a totally different thing. I've seen and done that myself. It comes from when they're really young. When they'll do that when they're young as well, and they'll use their mouth quite a bit, clack their teeth or flap their lips a little bit like that, and you can soothe them a little bit by doing that. So I'm not against that, but yeah, obviously be very cautious. Well, maybe I'll try to do a calendar. Carol says, I really enjoy these videos. Cindy says, good advice. True, solid advice at that. Thanks. I appreciate that a lot. And Wilson says, this guy sometimes, whoops, hit the camera, just wants to bite, but mostly is clearly trying to interact. I think he doesn't know polite ways to interact, though. He doesn't let anyone pet his face, ever. What a shame. Horses do know ways to interact. I can guarantee you, if that horse walked up to a horse that it thought was higher, that horse would not try to bite. Because if the other horse was higher and that horse tried to bite the higher horse, the other higher horse would turn around and knock his teeth out. So horses do know biting is bad. It's unwelcome. So just have to teach them. Just say, look, not my space. Get out. Say it's unacceptable. Find another way to talk to me. And they do. They will, and they do. Keep your safe space. Keep your space safe. Your advice is good for animals and people. Hope so. How come they're all down in the back of the arena? I don't know. Why don't they come up to the front? I'd have to get some carrots. Maybe I'll get some carrots. Carol says, M. Wilson, that's aggressive. Yeah, be cautious. They do. I agree. I don't know about aggression because you'd have to kind of be there. But what it is that the horse doesn't consider you any higher. So it is a form of wanting to interact because they're checking in to see if you are. Can I push you around? Can I tell you where to go? Can I, whatever. So you just have to communicate, no, you actually can't, and back up. And then pet them. Tell them to say thanks when they do. Man, there's a lot of people that are buying calendars. Who would buy a calendar? I'll look again, but I couldn't find a place that does calendars. At least not internationally. T-shirt, mug, bag, wearable stuff. Hey, that's all in the store. We've got t-shirts, we've got sweatshirts, we've got hats, toques, mugs. They stay away from me so they don't have to go back in their paddocks. Oh, they'll ask for paddocks soon. Don't you worry. It's getting on a couple hours now. They're going to be like, okay, let's go eat. Morgan says, I like shutterfly. It can be expensive. Yeah, I think it's about calendars. They're quite expensive. Iris is here. Hello, Iris. What a wonderful sunny day over there for the horses. As a horse person who have to move to the city, these videos are like a special treat for me. Love your videos. Thank you for what you do. You're welcome. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Where's the store? It's over on the website, which is stablehorsetraining.com. Tell you what, I'm going to go get some carrots. Braun's out. Got to start the day. Well, have a good day. And I'll see you in the next one. But I'll go get some carrots for these guys now, and we'll bring them up to the top. I'll zoom out just enough. Maybe like that. Okay, I'll be back in a couple minutes. guess you guys can tell when I'm coming back. All the horses are watching. Sue just wrote the same thing. Let's see if we can tell when he's coming back. Yeah, because they start watching me. Okay, so I'm going to let's see. There's too many comments for me to go through. Okay, I will get back to those in a second. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate. I don't have a microphone on me. I have to hook it up. Technology. I have to hook up the microphone before I start the live stream for it to work properly. So you guys will have to sort of, let's see if I can, I know where I'm going to be, so something like that. So Tina's ready. So let's start this off correctly. So I'm going to be in the arena, and the reason I'm going to be in the arena is because I don't want to borrow the fence for keeping myself safe. I want to yeah, they're all here. I want to assert my own or protect my own space myself. I don't want the fence to do it for me. Now there's 7 horses, so it's not like I'm saying you should do something like this, but you can. And I have, I'll show you here, a short length of rope, and you can carry this just on the edge of your pocket. Now I don't think I'm going to need it, but I carry it with me just in case. And that's just to swing around. So if you see me swinging something around, it's a short length of rope. And it is imperative that I keep myself safe. Very, very important, especially with 7 horses. So this is where I'm going to ask them all to be very, very quiet. And hopefully it'll be a good demonstration of how I would keep my safety circle, how I would feed food to horses by hand when there's a pile of them and they might be arguing. And I'll kind of keep an eye on all of them. Anyways, we'll see what happens. And off I go. Also, I have apples. I found a bunch of apples and then some carrots. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. You see how I can walk through them all, not get followed around, not get pushed on, not be told that I must feed them immediately, and they all get to watch at the same time. They all get to learn. And say for example, okay, here's an example. Say for example, Yoka, toughest horse around. Say for example she is. Everybody listens to her. She says move. If I walk in there and the first horse I target, for example, if it was her and I told her to move, every other horse in the arena would be like, whoa, just a second here. he just made Yoka move. Watch out, you know. So there's that as well. And then Gracie, quite pesky, right? Gracie's here, little Arabian, quite pesky. She wants to keep on moving in, get a space ahead of everybody else. And everybody else knows to stay still. Don't be pushy. Don't. You know, don't. So when I go in there and I do that and I tell her, no, you have to wait. You have to stay out of my space. You have to not push on me. They all watch that. As I walk around, everybody gets a piece. I take my time, do the turns that I feel are important. They are all watching. And that will allow you to keep, the only thing you have to worry about usually in this case, is when bad horses like this guy right here, Mr. Wild, wants to push on good little horses like Little Miss, and then you have to worry about whether or not horses are going to push other horses. So you have to keep an eye on that. And it's important. Okay, Yoka. How can I resist? I got a couple more carrots left. I also brought tea because I needed a drink. So there was a bit of an example. You guys couldn't see Luke much maybe, but it's a bit of an example where you can sort of ask a horse to approach and then ask him to stay. It's all good training. That's what I would call treat training. Training to accept treats properly. But sometimes you gotta, I'll zoom out. Sometimes it's really important that you can just carry around something like this and just tuck it in your pocket there or back pocket or something that you can just swing around. And it's no different. I want you to think of like a little piece of rope like this as if you had a tail like a horse. Whoops, too zoomed in. And if you watch the horses when they mill around each other, look at how quiet they got, eh? Look at Luke. When they mill around each other, if there's trouble, if one of them wants to talk to another horse, they'll use their face and their ears, obviously, but they'll use their tails very effectively, and that might... Oh. My dog is deaf. He can't even hear me from 60 feet away. Well, I give up. Anyhow, so if if your other tools are... Oh, Lena's yelling at Little Miss again. If your other tools are ineffective, like getting a little bit bigger, waving your hands around, blah blah blah, then you have your tail. So if... did you just chew on the stairs? You're in big trouble. Get out of there. Oh. See, this is why nobody should own an Arabian, because they're stair chewers. Anyhow, so the idea is that you get bigger, you get a little louder until you're loud enough to really be sure to tell them that, you know, you're going to really meet. If she goes, hey, that's enough. No more stair chewing. Get off the stairs. Go. No. Stop chewing on my stairs. No. But you can be ineffective with this thing too. Like, because I didn't follow up, I bet I'm a little less effective. Yoka, get her. Bite her. See how quiet Yoka is? The way she can move in and make some space. If you chew on the board, see, give them treats, and what do? Give them an inch, right? Take a mile. Why do people keep coming in writing VUN FYI? Why do I see quite a few of those comments? Does anybody know what that means? What's Brony doing? Anyhow, so hopefully that's a bit of an example of how you can go into even just one horse's space. This is 7. You can go into their space and you can say, you know, stop or back up or get out of my space or whatever it is to make your space safe. So there you go. There you go. It's a bot? Oh yeah, figures. What would they even want to say though? I don't understand it. It doesn't mean anything. Gracie, hey. Okay, that does it. Oh. No. Okay. What'd you scare him for? Because she keeps chewing on my... Look at her. She's still coming up. See, there's another one. B-O-R-O-N-G. I think I'm just going to ban these people. That's not even going to matter, is it? Oh, well. Who cares, right? It doesn't matter. So there was uh, there was an example right there of a super noisy motorbike. It's a beautiful day to be on a motorbike, but I sure wish they were quieter. Anyhow, the point is that I can be ineffective as well. And Gracie's a great example of what ineffectiveness looks like. You see, now I don't have to go very far. That's how effective I am. I am now Yoka, for example, to give you guys a visual, all I have to do is start stepping with energy. So it's an interesting thing. Anyways, that's my practical example that I could give you guys to back up my words, that there's plenty you can do without even getting close to hitting a horse. Right? You don't have to. You really don't. You can just be really loud. You can hit a fence, you can hit the ground, you can hit a barrel. Horses will go really sideways if you start to hit yourself. They hate it. I figured that out years and years ago. If you whacked a rope on your leg or something like that, it drove them nuts. They can't handle it. They're like, what are you hitting yourself for? That's weird. Right? Here she comes again. I don't have anything to do this time. She's going to have a little roll, maybe. And now they're quiet. Here comes Zeus. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Hello, big dog. Hello. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Yeah. Zeus. Look at how happy he looks. Happy dog. Little old, little weird. You can see he's kind of a little wonky, a lot grayer than he used to be. That's my boy. And here's all my horses again. That's the problem, you give treats. All of them are pushing the fence right now. If that fence wasn't there, I'd have to do something, you see? So even right now, I'm using the fence to keep myself safe. So them hanging off the fence is bad. So here we go. Go. So maybe I'd say that the fence is mine and everything 2 or 3 feet away from the fence is mine. Get off the fence. So you can do that as well. That's good practice. It's a safe place to do it. Zeus looks like a Lion King. He's still here. He does own the place. It's true. Okay, back to the horses. So there you go, everybody. Practical example of protecting your safety circle. I can't recommend it enough. And even though we don't want to whack horses and we don't want to do anything, please don't write it off if you need to keep yourself safe. And if you do write it off, know one of 2 things. One day you'll get hurt, or 2, you'll have to continue to place yourself in a position that something else protects you. That's it. That's just a guarantee. It's real. It's not bad. It is highly unusual. It is very, very unusual to have to protect yourself from a horse's advances of some sorts. You can usually be loud enough and big enough that they will just be gone. If I start running right now towards that fence, you won't see any of my horses at this end of the arena. Within seconds, they'll be at the back. I don't have to hit them. But sometimes you give the impression you might. But the point to that is that you think about that maybe you have to, so that you never do. And every little tiny bit, you reassure them. If you get a little bit big and they back up or they rock backwards, build on that, because that's gold right there. You know, it's no different than putting your ears back. You know, you watch Yoko. Look at her on the fence again. And Luke. Right? You watch Yoko. She doesn't do much. She kind of leans forward, puts her ears back a little bit. That kind of stuff. She gets things sorted out real fast. That's what you want to be. Okay. God, there's so many comments. You guys chit chat so much. Okay, hang on. It's really hard to go through these comments on here. Okay, I think I made it back to where I left. Nope. Is he teaching us patience? That's only gone a few minutes. Waiting for carrots, waiting for carrots. Penny's here. Hello, Penny. Leadfoot Mama says, anyone learning to trim their horse's hooves? Yes, there's quite a few people learning. I think I brushed by a comment on if I knew of any books or anything. I actually have an online course if you want to try it. It's in the link for every description of every video, and it's in the last video I put up yesterday on trimming Mr. Wild's one of his feet. But it's at a website called Stable Horse Academy. It's cool, right? Yeah. But the URL is myhorsecoach.com. So that's a site that's going to have online lessons. myhorsecoach.com. Look there. Oh, Marilyn had to go. Bye, Marilyn. Okay, I think I made it back to where I was. Iris had to go. Bye, Iris. Can't really offer my hand. This horse got way too many treats as a baby and way too many smacks as an adult. Very dramatic too. I wonder what Lena would say to him. Horses can I don't know if Wilson's still here, but horses can absolutely differentiate between people. 100%. So if you set a guideline for that horse to follow, that horse will follow it when with you, but may not with anybody else. Establish that, you'll be good. Laura says she likes the lifestyle here. Don't think there's any other channels like this one. I have no idea. I've never looked. But if anybody finds one, let me know. Yeah. Waiting on carrots. Penny. Hello, Penny. Carrots. Sue says, I believe it's because he embraces patience, personally and professionally. Hardly anyone does. We're all in such a hurry. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm in a hurry here and there, but I do try to do my best in this regard. And encourage it. Make it more normal. Lots of chit chat amongst everybody. That's nice. It is wonderful, everybody hanging in this long. You guys are great. Morgan's been in riding lessons since 7. Wowzers. Laura thought I was a farrier. Amazing how patiently trimming just one hoof. Yeah, I don't shoe horses at all, so I don't know if I'd be classified as a farrier per se. Trim. Here in Canada, we don't actually have anything. I mean, we sort of have classes that teach farriership, but a lot of it is concentrated on blacksmithing. how to make a shoe, bend a shoe, shape a shoe, put on a shoe, take off a shoe. So that's what the majority of the class is. Very little to do with biology or a healthy trim. Trim for a shoe. Laura says she wants the white sweatshirt. Oh, cool. Yeah, these sweatshirts are awesome. I wear them all the time. Very soft on the inside. Really nice. Love them. Warm too. Carla used to have 2 horses. That's cool. Get out of there. Okay, you guys. Luke says no kersies. I don't want her trapped kind of down that way. No, get off. Go. The stairs get chewed on a lot. Okay. Bedfoot Mama's new. Loves how I listen to the horses. I try. Missy bought one of the sweatshirts. Love it. It is very nice quality. Thanks, Missy. It is awesome. Sue says it's not just patience, it's economy of movement. Very deliberate what he does. Doesn't make unnecessary gestures. I hope not to. I'm sure I do, but I hope not to. Horses are master observers. They know exactly everything that's going on. Missy says she's wearing the beanie. Oh yeah, how you feeling, Missy? Any better? They're master observers, and everything you do matters. You know, everything you do could be a teaching moment. Everybody says thank you for that was helpful to do the horses. Feed the horses. Everybody's talking clothes while I'm with 7 horses. Yeah, Gracie did push too much. That's okay. It's good practice. These spam comments are weird. Laura says my baby bird is talking back when you whistle. That's neat. Trolls and robots. Oh well, whatever. So yeah, Leadfoot Mama says, do you recommend any books or videos? Mine. I don't know of any books. I've only got one book. There might be a couple. I've done a couple of book reviews. And there's good theory in them about the biology of feet and stuff. But practical trimming tips are hard to find. That's why I made a whole course on it. I did 3 different horses, trimming style and all that kind of business. So maybe that's interesting. Carolyn's here. Hello, Carolyn. You can set your parameters and only let subscribers comment. Yeah, but lots of people aren't subscribers here and want to cheat chat away too, so I'm cautious about it. I'll see if it gets bad. Carolyn, you actually live in the lower mainland. You are able to do something like that. I can yell, hey, and mine will stop. It's true. So I whistle. I'll have a high-pitched whistle. It carries very well. Sometimes I might use the word hey. Ronnie and Mr. Wild playing back there. They're good buddies. And the whistle will be it's loud and it gets their attention. A police escorted protest go down the street downtown Vancouver. Oh yeah. And Marie's here. Hello. So yeah, I don't know of any. So I see a second question on if I know of any books. I don't know of any books on trimming. The only books I kind of know more about understanding the biology. So you gotta understand the concepts rather than the methods, which is important, but it's hard. Yeah. Carol says, I like that. You never get angry. They don't understand it. It makes them scared. It's the opposite of the intent. Yeah, we don't want them scared. Scared horses are dangerous horses. Leadfoot Mamas. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did. And have lots of questions. Well, you know, feel free to send me any questions you have. I'll be happy to answer them. Obviously. But books are hard. I do have a couple, and I did book. If you look in the book reviews playlist, there's 2 books in there. I can't remember the name. One of them is kind of old, so you have to sort of take it with a grain of salt here and there. A lot of science in there that'll probably put you to sleep. And then another one is sort of built off of that. I've got them both, but I can't remember the names. But I did book reviews on them, so if you look in the book review section, you'll see those 2 books. Did they chew them because they don't like the stairs? No, I don't know if they don't like the stairs. They just like chewing on stuff once in a while. Slow-mo's here, late to the party, really late. But who? Hang on a second. Slow-mo's Mary in Maryland. Late to the party, really late. Well, we're only 2.5 hours in. Missy says she's feeling better. That's good. Little Mrs. Brenda, hello Brenda. Little Mrs. body shape has changed so much. Yes, she's in good shape. She's really kicking along nicely with that. Quite happy. Luke, if you chew on that, you're in trouble. Julian's here. Hello, Julian. Cora's up to bed. Enjoyed, learned some. Good night. All right, I think I've caught up to everybody. So, being that yes, we're 2.5 hours in, it's probably time for me to get on with things around this joint. It's been fun. I love sharing the horses with everybody. I imagine that some people are in rainy conditions and stuff like that, so might just be inside chilling out. Whereas for me, it's lovely weather. Look at them just hanging off the fence like that. That's what happens when you introduce treats. Sent me an email a week ago. Crap, I probably did. I'll check it out. I will take a look a little later. Xtanet says thanks for streaming. You're welcome. Thanks everybody for popping in. I'm going to get on with chores and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys have a great day. And or night or morning, whatever you're up to in your time zone. Mid-afternoon for me, so a little more goofing around with the horses for sure. Chores. Yeah, it's a typical day. Missy says it was fun. It was fun. Thanks everybody for popping in. Thanks for the questions and chitty chat. It's great. You guys were wonderful. So bye for now. And oh, thanks Carol. Holy cow, thanks Carol. Oh, that's really a big deal. Dottie just got here. Okay, Dottie, I'll stick around a little bit. Yeah, thank you very much, Carol. That's a big deal. Just picked up, actually, speaking of financial stuff, briefly, we just picked up a load of hay and trying to get more. If you guys remember back, if you've been here for a bit, you'll remember back when I had to build up a little barn to make some more space for hay because of the possible shortage of hay. Well, that possible shortage is coming true a little bit, and I had a big long talk with my hay guy about the subject. But unfortunately, in the meantime, as the world goes, um, the cost of hay has increased and is going to steadily increase and be even more. So, very much appreciated. That will be going towards hay. I can tell you that straight out. Um, and it means a lot. Thank you very much, Carol. And yeah, Donnie just got here. Sorry, I feel bad. Oh no, I just got here. Whenever I see that, I think, oh, okay, maybe a little more. Um, Carol says, thanks for spending your time with us. You're welcome. Thanks for spending your time here as well. I love it when people can enjoy the horses along with, because I get a lot of people actually here that don't even have horses. They just enjoy the time with the horses. They enjoy experiencing behaviors, playtime, sleeping, everything. I mean, maybe not all the training stuff. Some people have no interest in training, but they just like watching horses. And to be able to share them is a treat. We're lucky. YouTube freely distributes these horses throughout the world for everybody to enjoy, and it's been an absolutely great community of people that have come together. I mean, this chat alone, look at yourselves. Everybody's chatting nicely. We're all talking about horses, getting along really well, and it's just fantastic. That, in and of itself, is just good humanity. It's good for everybody. And even anybody that doesn't talk. There's probably plenty of people that just sit and watch, and maybe you're on TV, so you can't chit-chat anyways. But you get to, I mean, that's why I try to read out the comments and include everybody, because I don't think they would see the comments either. But it's just good for everybody. You guys are great. It's fantastic. Carla, thanks for the calendars. I will look around to see what I can find. I've got a billion pictures, obviously. So I'll see what I can do. It's still January. Maybe we can get a quick run out. Does Costco do them, I wonder? I don't have a Costco membership, though. I don't know. I'll try to find something, but usually the calendar is a bit pricey. I'll see what I can find. That'd be fun. It'd be neat if I could do that. Look at these two. Aww. Luke says, switch sides, girl. She says, okay. Little co-grooming. I don't know if I've ever seen these two co-groom before. How adorable. Luke's such a good horse, eh? He is fantastic. Switch sides again. Droodle's here. A learning experience for the young horseman. That would be my husband Gary just watching. Yeah. Where's David? David's busy today. He was here yesterday. I mean, I don't want to give away his personal life. It's not my business to say anything. He's just busy. He's got his own life to do things as well. A beautiful day to be out, though. He's missing it. Look at that cutie pie. Look at just... I gotta go say hi. I'm gonna put the rope down, so I don't have a rope. I'm just gonna go up freehand. What are you doing? Hello, Luke. Honestly, I could just do this all day long. Okay. Oh yeah, no, Carly, he was here the other day. Yesterday, when did I do the last live chat? Whenever I did the last live chat, he was here. I thought it was yesterday or the day before or something. He was here. Everybody said hi. I'll let him know hi from you, so that so he knows. Because obviously, I don't know if anybody who if you haven't been here for a while, or not for a while, haven't been here for a while, essentially for a while, like it hasn't. Anyhow, David owns Yoka, little fluffer here, and so he's been in plenty of live streams. He helped out a massive amount in the back when we did the huge renovation back there, built the pathway to go to the back, rebuilt part of the front back paddock and the back paddock, and the trail that goes over there. It was great. We had a great summer doing all that kinds of stuff. Well, yeah, he's that guy. So or anybody that doesn't know him who's kind of new here, that's who she's talking about. Great guy. Loves his horse. Oh geez, thanks Dottie. Straight to hay. Just to give, yeah, I kind of sort of cut off that conversation about hay, but the cost of hay has gone up so far 20% and is projected to go up another 20 on top of that once sort of, because if you think about when hay gets cut, the first cut of hay usually May, that'd be kind of early, that'd be sort of a first cut, and we don't feed our horses first cut here, we feed our horses second cut. Second cut comes out sometime July, August kind of thing. So I have to get in a big enough supply of hay now, and possibly again in April, that will survive us all the way till August, September. Which is why I did, and I was talking about the rebuild that I did on the small barn, which is this little barn here. So inside there got an extra space for hay, because we need to be able to store a lot of hay for a lot of horses. And if I'm going to bring in these wildies, that's more horses to feed. More mouths to feed means more food to buy, which more cost. And so I was talking to the hay guy, and he's a really good guy. He's tried to keep prices low. My best advice to anybody who's going to get a horse: treat your hay person really well. Pay on time, never argue about anything, complain as little as you can, help out as you can, that kind of stuff. It's really, really good relationship to build. So he's helped out, and he's given me some thoughts to think about, and then what's going to happen come this late spring and summer. And there's some real concerns out there right now, some real solid concerns. But mostly it's that the farmers are going to be trying to get as much as they can for a high demand item, which is food for our horses. So that's just the way it is in capitalistic world. So anyways, thank you, Dottie. I really appreciate that. It's a big deal. More dollars for calendars. Maybe hay. Should we feed the horses or take pictures of them and sell them? If we sell calendars, we might be able to get more hay. That'd be good too. Cornelia says, horses are so powerful. I'd still like to get one. I learned a lot from you. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Well, you're welcome so much. And you should get a horse. Horses are great. Yeah, and they're getting a little bit, we're getting 2 hours, 45 minutes, everybody. Carol says she has a long relationship with her hay guy. I was able to buy 150 large rounds. Wow. Of our brome here in KS. Kansas? When it was cut. Will last me till next cutting in of June. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, you're lucky. It's not that good here, and we had our fires and we had our droughts. We had our huge fires in BC, really big deal. Then we had our floods, fires, drought, too hot of a summer, and then we had our floods, you know, a couple months ago. And what happened is, when the lower mainland flooded, everybody lost their hay, obviously. Some people lost livestock, but so then the demand on hay went up. When all the fires were around, a lot of stuff got burnt away, so the supply became, you know, you can see where this is going. It's not been good. Could be better. Oh, Ronnie's telling Mr. Wilder to go left, right, left, right. You see him cutting them back and forth, back and forth. Look at it, he's not sorted out yet. Ronnie's still perturbed. Look at him. Look at him back up all the way. Some people say horses can't back up. Look at that guy. He backed up 20 feet, no problem. Still going. It's going to sort him out, cut him again. Good drive line. Lena's moving in. Ronnie's moving in one more time. Another cut. Possible kick. Send. Cut again. Fantastic. Back up, back up, back up. And the price never goes back down, says Carol. No kidding. That's actually what he said. He said too, you know, once it gets up there, it never comes back down. And that's scary. That's a little scary. So no rubbing on the fence. Go away. We discourage fence rubbings if we can. I'll go up and give her a scratch in a little bit. But anyways, my phone says 10%, so I actually have to cut off the stream anyways. I appreciate everybody who's come in. Anybody who's chucked in a little cash. It's fantastic. Thank you. It's a big deal. Definitely working hard to make sure that you can feed these guys and hopefully expand and still be able to feed them. There's a lot of factors involved, obviously. Space to store it is one. Supply, obviously, uncontrollable there. And then the money to be able to buy it, even if it goes up in cost. Things like that. Like, some stuff is controllable, some stuff isn't. So we're trying to set up for success as best as we can. Sort of stacking the deck and being ready for what can come down the road. So if there's a supply that's suddenly available, it's like, well, let's get as much as possible, store it. And I've got a lot of horse friends too. I'm a little worried for them as well. If they need to come and say, hey, you know, you got a few extra bales just to push us through, I want to be able to say yes to that. It's a big deal to me. Obviously our horses are first, but you know, it's a big deal. We've got to do it. So that's the goal. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for all the chit chat. You guys have been great. Hopefully you've enjoyed the horses. And the sun is on its way down. We've done a live stream for the length of time it takes the sun to go across the sky at this time of day or season, year, whatever. So thank you, everybody. I will see you guys in the next one. If I've missed any comments or questions, I'm sorry. It goes by quickly. I try to catch them all. If not, chuck them in the comments below. Leadfoot Mama. I will look at the email and see if I've missed something. I apologize for that. I get a lot of emails that I sort of glance at and I'm like, okay, I'll get to this, and then I forget. But thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like. Oh, Luke's lying down. Look at little Miss go over and sniff him out. He says, take off. Luke, you're gonna get kicked, buddy. Oh, he didn't. Good. See, now I have to go hang out with my horse. Okay, so that's it. Everybody stay safe and warm and happy, and hopefully you have a great rest of the day or night. And I'll see you guys in the next one. New video tomorrow, obviously. So, see you then.